I'm Ryan Aguilar. My major is chemical engineering and I go to Drexel.
Nice. And what year are you?
I'm a senior. I graduated in June. Yeah, pretty good. It's been a long journey, but it's coming to a close finally. Well, yeah, I grew up Catholic, so I knew of Jesus, but that's really different from knowing Jesus. Yeah, so when I came to college, I didn't really know anything about it, and I was like, that's not for me. I had that already mindset going into it. But yeah, someone, Matt Gomes, he saw how much pain I actually carried, how much baggage I actually had, and there's actually way more than I thought it was. And so he dragged me to a huddle. He and dragged me to freedom, and I like really did not want to go, but I'm really happy he did because it really started my faith journey. Um, I met Jesus, and he's a pretty cool dude. Yeah, so the first Christian thing I guess I did was come to huddle, and it was in like the middle of winter term of my sophomore year, and I just remember being like, "Why are y'all so happy? Like, y'all are at Drexel in the middle of winter term. Y'all should be going through it. Y'all should be like for real, like really in your bag." But nah, everyone had like the smile, and it was genuine, and everyone was having a good time. And I knew in that moment that they have something that I don't, and they have something that I want. Um, so I went to church with them a couple days later at Freedom, and immediately I felt like I don't belong there. Immediately I was like, this is really strange from what I imagined church would be like. Yeah, I kept going despite it being weird, and it really spoke to me every single week. It really was like practical information that actually applied to my life, which lined up with the huddle because here are people who are my age going through the same things that I'm going through, and yet they still have time or they still can make Jesus a priority in their lives. And it seems to be working. I don't know how, but it seems to be working. And so, yeah, that's why I kept going to Freedom. And yeah, it's been history ever since. There's that cliche that like if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go farther, you go together. And yeah, it is a cliche, but there is so much truth to that. Um, I really felt like there have been times when my attitude wasn't right on some days, and so I'm just like, I really just need someone to talk to about this, and anyone is there to talk about it, anyone is there to help, and without judgment too. That was really refreshing because I didn't know that was possible. Didn't know that was actually a thing. Yeah, being able to like rely on people at ENC, being able to like tell them my problems and actually let them into my life, it didn't have the anticipated consequence of I would be shut down or I would be shamed or anything like that. Actually, I was met with understanding, I was met with empathy, and that helped me trust the community. That helped me, yeah, lean on them more. And they helped me through problems that I didn't know I had. They helped me through problems that I didn't know were solvable. And yeah, it's community was really important to me in C really. How real am I to get about this one?
As long as you 1 week.
Okay. Um, Definitely my favorite experience was my first fall retreat because I was in fall, and the summer before that fall, I went to a rave. I went to a rave with my family, and I took MDMA. And if you've ever heard of that drug, it's all the stories that say to be like it's really like euphoric, and physical sensations are like really amplified. You feel really good mentally too. And yeah, definitely felt that. Definitely felt I was on like a high of my life or whatever. And I looking back on it's kind of funny that I did this, but I remember feeling so good that I I like yelled at the top of my lungs, "Praise the Lord" at this rave, and a whole bunch of like half naked people around me, also on drugs, and someone like rebuked me very quickly and was like, "You gotta match the vibe. Like that's not the place for like this is not the place for that." And here I was feeling myself, and yeah, I was met with, "You can't do that." And the reason this ties in with fall retreat is because I had that same, like, believe it or not, I had that same euphoric sensation. I had that same physical sensations were amplified. Like felt really good mentally, felt really like free again. That same feeling, like sense for sense, nerve for nerve. And again, I found myself yelling, "Praise the Lord" at the top of my lungs, and I was so ready to get that rebuke again. But I wasn't met with that. I was met with them saying it back with me, the people around me praising with me, and that was so good because yeah, no one shut me down. I felt like I could be genuine and people wouldn't like take that the wrong way. And when I took MDMA, the following week I had COVID because of course I was at this rave, and so I couldn't go into work, and so I was isolated from all my friends and all my coworkers, and chemically I literally didn't have the chemicals to feel any happiness during that week, so it was such a tough week. But I couldn't say that with fall retreat. There was no sickness the next day, there was no depression, there was no anything. God was able to match the same physical euphoria, same mental euphoria, without any of the consequences, with no rebuke, with no pain, with no anything afterwards. And yeah, it was in that moment where I could trust him that anything the world could give me, he can give it too, and there's no downsides to it. What would I tell me as a freshman? I would say, know that there's gonna be growing pains. Know that it's everything's gonna be new. There are gonna be so many things that you didn't know could be like this. Like going to freedom for the first time, you're gonna feel like a fish out of water, or going to huddle for the first time, you're gonna feel like you don't belong there. You hear all these people praising, and if it's your first time, you're gonna think, I don't belong here. This is not who I am. I'm a sinner. Hear all these people rejoicing and praising God for their godly lives. That's not me. You're gonna think that praying for the first time, you're gonna think, I'm just talking to the air. There's no one actually listening. I'm talking to myself. This is stupid. Going to a small group for the first time, you're gonna think, what a ridiculous idea of being vulnerable in front of other men. And yeah, they seemed like valid thoughts at the time. But now I can say that that same church where I felt so out of place, I can now call my home. And small groups, those are now the places where I am the most vulnerable, I am the most intimate, and it is the most rewarding. And prayer, I don't think I go any day without praying, and I don't think I could go a full day without praying. Yeah, I really need him. And so there are going to be shifts, there are going to be things that you didn't expect were going to be like this, but they're all good, and they are a tiny bit uncomfortable, but that's growth. And yeah, who doesn't want to grow? Definitely remember that your sin is not special. There are definitely people in ENC or even next to you that know exactly what you're going through, who have either done it themselves or know someone who's done it or knows how to deal with it. Help is literally a question away when you're in ENT. Yeah, don't ever feel shamed like you're alone. Don't ever feel like you can't talk to someone about this problem of yours because it's too whatever. Whether it's like sexual abuse or broken families or guilt and shame, or I've talked to like my deepest, darkest secrets to people, and they still love me afterwards. And I don't know how many people I could say that about. So yeah, I definitely want to remember that I gotta have my community with me. And we don't have to be in the same city to be in the same family. It's funny because I know that anything I could imagine or tell you right now wouldn't be enough. I know that um, there are dreams that Billy said he had a long time ago that I've seen almost weekly happen today. And yeah, this is such a interesting question because what isn't God gonna do? I've seen salvations during evangelism times, in and out of evangelism times. I've seen friends who I never thought would ever know God. I've seen um, broken families restored. I've seen relationships reconciled. Yeah, I really, I really don't know what to ask of him because I know he could produce something way more than what I could ask. Um, well, yeah. I'm graduating in June and I'm getting married in July. Um, After that, I hope to join ENC full time, actually. To everyone in ENC, I would say, you are so loved. And yes, ENC as a group, but ENC as in everyone individually in ENC. If anyone would be hearing this, try to imagine like I'm talking to you, that you specifically are so loved, whether or not you see it or realize it or come to terms with it. The truth is, you are so loved, bottom line, and that will never not be true. So never think like you're not, never act like you're not, never convince yourself that you're not, because that love is waiting for you.
Thanks, you're getting so serious.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, definitely couldn't have done this without them. Definitely couldn't have become the person I am without them. Um, I've seen them also grow alongside with me, and it's encouraging that I'm good where I am. God will always put me where I need to be, and He'll always transform me into the person that I should be. Whether that agrees with what I think or not, He's really working. And the campus ministers are all examples of that. Of here people who were in my shoes, whether it's 1, 2, or 10 years ago. Here people who did the same things I did, committed the same as I'd committed, and yet can lead so many people to Christ, can help so many people. Yeah, never forget that you're doing God's work. And that's such a cliche phrase, you're doing God's work, but really, He chose you for a reason,